In today's video, I am going to be breaking down how you can beat a 2-1-2 half-court press. Now, this is not a trap. This is not a press where they are trying to trap you along a corner or a sideline. This is just merely a press. What they're trying to basically do to you is to try and force you into a turnover, whether that be an over and back call or them just intercepting a bad pass. That's essentially what they're just trying to do in this press. So let's get down and let's actually try and really figure out how you can beat it. Really quickly, if you want a killer defense, make sure to go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below. And if you want a really good pressing defense, I have the perimeter defense that is down there as well, which will double team everything above the free throw line extended. I hope that you check those out because those are killer defenses that you can use. So here we have the 2-1-2, and there's a few things that they are going to try and do. Number one is player 3 is going to get a lot of steals. That's just what they're going to try and do. Player 1 and 2 are going to try and get a lot of steals as well, and player 4 and 5, they're going to try and get those lob passes that go back to the other end of the court, or at least your end of the court, your baseline. So here's your 5 guys, and some of the things that you can try and do. Number one is to get your center posting up that middle man. Now, why you would want to try and do this is, first of all, he needs to make contact. If he's sitting here and allowing space between him and this man, this guy's trained, or at least the other team is going to be asking him to go for that steal over your back, around your back, without making contact with you, trying to reach in if there's any lob passes being sent to him. So he needs to make contact on player 3. If he doesn't, it's going to fail. If you just have one guy going up middle with nobody else here, let's say this is how you're setting it up. Well, these guys are going to close the middle because nobody wants you to go up middle. They're going to force sideline, and because they're closing middle, you're not going to be able to get a good pass into player 5. So if that's your goal and you only have one guy here, it ain't going to work and it never will work. It's going to be a lob pass, and player 3 red is going to be intercepting that thing all day long. Another mistake that I see a lot of teams use, because while I don't use the 2-1-2 myself, I use other half-court presses and traps, I see a lot of mistakes of teams saying, oh no, I got one ball handler bringing it up, I only have one point guard, and that forces them out to the sideline. Well, now, if he gets forced out to the sideline, well, guess what? Player 1's going to be sitting here. Player 2 is going to be overplaying this side, trying to really force you to this side. This pass goes to player 2, and it gets intercepted by player 5 all day long, because now player 4 is going to be covering the paint, player 3 is going to be covering the middle, and now player 5 has that ball, and you can start leaking out these long passes all day long. Nice, easy layups. So these long passes to the corner will not work. You do not want to pass to the corner in this press. What you would rather do, or what you should do, is have your guys set up nice and wide. Have a guy in the middle, guy along the sidelines, guy along the sidelines. Not in the corner, but the sidelines. This is extremely important, because now, let's say you've drawn these players over here. Well, a quick reverse pass around gets you the ability to shift the defense. Player 5 can now roll to the basket, and now you can get a nice clean look to player 5, and hopefully you can get yourself an easy basket. Now, that's obviously easier said than done, but what you can also do is to quickly pass to player 3 on this side, and then you would have the defense shift. You could even set a screen, it doesn't matter. You can set up the offense then. But before the defense shifts, if player 5 can get the inner seal on player 3, again, easy pass, drive. If this collapses the defense, you can now set up, kick the ball out, set up your offense. See, one of the biggest things that the defense is going to try and do to you by pressing you at half court, they don't even need to trap. All they need to do is press you at half. I run a 1-3-1 trap. I run a 1-3-1 press. There's differences. In a trap, you actually actively try and trap. With a press, you're just trying to pressure the team. And when you pressure the other team, you are basically just trying to make them rush. That is the whole deal, is for them to rush an early shot. So what you're hoping for is either a bad pass where you intercept, or you're hoping that they drive, kick, shot, quick, miss their shot, you go back down the other end. Because you have guys at half court already, they could be leaking out, and it's just one nice long pass, and it's an easy basket. Now, when I was an assistant coach last year and I was able to be a head coach for that team for a few games because the head coach was away, we ran a 1-3-1 trap, and the one thing that I did differently, even though you're not supposed to, as an assistant coach, change things up drastically or change things up at all, is when we were in a league where there was a team, we were blowing out everybody except for one team, and that one team beat us just recently, the day before, when I was the assistant coach, beat us by 20. One thing that I changed was I went to a smaller guard lineup. And you're not supposed to change things, but I did because I wanted to experiment and try things, and there was players that I felt that needed more time. Either way, what I did was I went all guards except for the center, and because the other team was extremely fast, they were tall, we were taller, but slower, so you got to try and sometimes just match the speed. So that's what we did, and what I did was we ran that half-court trap exactly like the regular team strategy, but the only thing that I changed was the top man. I said, as soon as they put up a shot, whether it's a three, a layup, I don't care. You get your butt down court as fast as possible. We're going to get you the ball. That player was not an irregular starter. He was a 12th man. I put him as the top man on that zone. He was able to pressure. He did his job perfectly, and he broke out from that zone every time that they made a bad pass or every time that they made a shot or took a shot. And what happened? He went from averaging 1 point per game to scoring 29 points, and we won by 25 points that game, which is huge, going from the day before losing by 20 to winning by 25. Small little tweaks sometimes help you a ton. Now, that's going back to this defense. We'll go back down here. Let's say they're pressuring at half. So let's say they've set up this zone again. We have our guys 3 across here. We have our guards back here, and at this point, player 2 has that ball. Let's say he gets that ball to player 4. And he's wide open. And because they're getting pressured, he takes that early 3 as fast as possible. Well, these guys are already setting up their offense. Let's say player 5 is down here, but he's getting boxed out or whatever. They're setting up the offense already. Well, at this point, we have the numbers when it comes to a rebound. And let's say player 4 got that rebound. If we already have player 2 and player 1 leaking out, these guys are already still in their offense trying to get that rebound. But because we have guys who have leaked out early, we got the defensive rebound. And to be honest with you, I don't care myself. This is just my own personal strategy. I know everyone has a different opinion. These top guys in a zone press, they don't need to be there for the rebound. They're there for perimeter defense and perimeter defense only, in my opinion. Now, this is my opinion. This isn't everyone's opinion. But if they are guarding the top, I want these guys getting the rebound. These guys, they need a leak out. This is my opinion. You can run it the same way as me. It doesn't matter. You can run it differently than me. You can say, I need everyone to be here. I need outlets, whatever. But I like to have, in this case, player 3 would need to be outlet. Player 5 would need to be outlet. But guess what? We have clear passes down court, 0 to 1 dribbles, layup every single time. Just because we ran a press, as long as they rushed and we got the rebound, you're automatically going down court. Now, this can be used if you are a pressing team. If you are the team on defense, this can be used to your advantage because now the offensive team is going to say, as soon as we take that shot, we need to get our butts back. We can't get the offensive rebound. Now you're at an even bigger advantage. So, I know this video is about trying to beat a press, but I just wanted to share those few things and some of the things that teams may be trying to do against you when you're trying to beat their press. But what I have seen most successfully is running 3 wide right across that 3-point line and just trying to get it into one of them and then trying to feed the middle. Whether it's feeding the middle from here, from player 3, passing it to player 2, passing it over here, passing it to the middle, whatever it is, just trying to feed that middle as early as possible and not as soon as you're getting past half, not taking a dribble. That helps massively. The only time you want to take a dribble is when you're attacking the basket, when you're going up against a press. You want to be able to pass as fast as possible. If you can pass early, maybe attack. If they collapse, then you can kick it out. But whatever it is, you just want to try and feed middle. That's the easiest. Pass the ball as fast as possible. And unless you are attacking the basket, do not dribble. These are the easiest ways that you can beat a 2-on-2 half-court press defense. I hope that this video has helped you. Make sure to go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the descriptions below. That will allow you to be able to trap the corners and double the low post and not leave any player open. I'll see you guys again in my next video.